You guys want me to start with injuries?
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy, as you guys already know, torn ACL. Sherm has a calf strain. He'll be out a couple weeks. Most of these other players we're going to have to recheck on Wednesday with it just being the day after the game. Tart, still same thing with the stinger. We'll have to check on him how he is Wednesday. Person, had a slight knee sprain in this game, so he'll probably be questionable this week. Garnett's still the same situation. I'd be surprised if we got him back this week. Breida, hyperextended his knee in the game, a little calf soreness, so he'll be questionable this week. Goodwin made it through the game, so I expect him to be all right. And Colbert with his hip, we'll have to recheck him on Wednesday.
What about Alfred Morris?
Alfred went out for a little bit with an ankle. He came back in. We'll recheck him on Wednesday. Expect him to be all right, but he did go out in the game for a bit.
Is the Garoppolo injury limited to the ACL? Was there any other damage in the knee?
None specific that I've been told, but I know anytime, I don't think you ever know for sure until you open it up. Seems kind of like with all ACLs, there's always some other stuff in there, but the message I got today that it was fairly good news, relatively speaking.
Did you get a chance to spend some time with Jimmy? What kind of order his spirits like right now?
As good as they can be. I mean, he's down, just as everyone would expect. Jimmy was really excited about this year, and we were really excited to go through it with him and got to go through a few games. But, I know he was very disappointed. I know it was hard for him last night. It was hard today. And it'll be hard over these next few weeks. But Jimmy's a tough person. He'll bounce back from this, and he'll be ready to go next year.
When is he expected to receive treatment on his knee?
They got to wait till the swelling goes down. So I don't think we have exact time on that, but I would guess that'd be at least 1 to 2 weeks.
Is the plan right now to elevate Nick from the practice squad and then bring in a third quarterback?
I don't know if we'll. I know we're working out a number of guys tomorrow. Right now our plan is to bring Nick up, so we have 2 at least right away. We're working out a bunch of guys tomorrow. I'm not sure how many. We'll see how that goes, and we'll assess it after that.
Savage is one of those guys?
I know he's one of them. Yeah.
Robert Griffin on the radar too?
No, he's on a team. He's at Baltimore. Yeah.
Any other names that you've had experience with, guys who will be coming in?
I don't know the whole list of them.
How many do you coming in?
As many as we can get, I think. No, I'm just joking. I think Kellen Clemens is coming in. One I know for sure. I believe T.J. Yates might possibly be coming in. No, we asked Matt Moore. I'm not sure if he is or not. That's all I know right now.
Kyle, why are you confident moving ahead with CJ?
I have a lot of confidence in CJ. I think CJ got a lot of experience last year. We liked him a lot coming out of college. He got a lot of experience last year. He got thrown into as tough of a situation as I could imagine putting a rookie quarterback in, and the guy didn't blink. He had a lot of ups and downs throughout his time playing. I thought he started out very well, went through a little bit of slump in the middle, and I thought he ended very well, especially with the win that we got versus the Giants. CJ's as tough and fearless as any quarterback I've ever been around. He's got the arm talent to make every throw. He's extremely smart, and I know he's the type of guy that I know our team believes in also.
What does he give you that's special? Is it those qualities that's there?
Yeah, those qualities. Yeah.
Where have you seen the biggest improvement with him on the practice field this offseason?
Just being more consistent like they all are. The more time you get to play, the more situations you go through. Sometimes when you get thrown and you play a lot of guys, they see how hard it is and they kind of go the other direction. That's what's been so encouraging about CJ, no matter what his situation was last year. He's a guy who's been through it and truly believes that he can do it, just like we believe he can do it also. And he got that confidence going through some up and downs last year. I know the guy's very eager to play. I know he's understood his situation since Jimmy's been here, which he's been very supportive of. And I know he heard for Jimmy last night, but CJ's a gamer, a guy who loves to play. And I know, even though he doesn't like how it happened, I know he is excited about his opportunity.
It's so easy for us to look and say Jimmy should have just run out of bounds. What's your take on that? I know he's just trying to make a play, but what's his thought process?
I think everyone's the same after it happens. So why don't you just get out of bounds? And I think that's a reminder to all quarterbacks and coaches. Just turn on the tape any Sunday, and you're going to watch 15 plays by quarterbacks jumping over people, not getting out of bounds, doing a little extra to move the chains where it's a hell of a play, and everyone's glad they did it. And then you see some guys get out of bounds, and you're like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And then you have something like this that you're reminded of why you do coach that and why quarterbacks should do it. But those guys are competitive guys who want to do whatever they can to win the game. And you're not assuming just by staying in bounds, you're going to tear your knee up. Sometimes you get hit a lot harder because of that, which is what I thought happened until I heard later. But I think that's something that Jimmy will probably look at differently going forward, because I know he'll remember this the rest of his life, and nothing against him. I think happens with everyone. Like I said, you see it every Sunday, and I think that's just a reminder for everyone why that is the obvious coaching point and why you need to stick with that.
The experience that he's missing this season, how big is that? How crucial is that just moving forward into 2019 and beyond?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would have happened, and I don't know what's going to happen next year. But I know I'm extremely excited about Jimmy being here next year. Jimmy is a very talented quarterback. He has played at a high level in the games that he has played. It's very unfortunate. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are all, it was hard waking up today. We were down, disappointed about it, because we were looking forward to a lot playing with Jimmy this year and going through the good and the bad that would happen, knowing that he'd benefit from all of it. And now we don't get to do that, and I know Jimmy's really down about it, so are we, but it's still going to be all right. This is part of the league. It's part of the NFL. It's part of life, and you have to adjust to it, and you got to make the best out of it. Jimmy's got the ability to be very successful in this league. He's got the mentality to be very successful in this league. He's not going to get a lot of reps this year now. He's got a lot leading up to this, and now he doesn't. So he gets to sit back and watch, and what's he going to make out of that? I think you can always make things a positive. It'll help him to sit and watch more, especially to sit there and watch CJ go through this. And when we get into the offseason, we'll get an early start with him going through his rehab and everything. And I think it'll make him that much more hungry next year. And there's not a doubt in my mind that he'll come back and be the exact same guy.
With CJ, you were able to learn a lot about him on the field last year when he was starting. After Jimmy took over, how did he handle that last year? Because he kind of, moved into the background at some point also.
Yeah, I think he handled it very well. I mean, I think I have a lot of respect for both of those guys, definitely as players, but just as people. And on CJ, we threw him into a tough position that, I keep saying that last year, and he got the crap kicked out of him a bunch and never flinched, didn't change who he was, still wanted to be in there, and was disappointed when we took him out and put Jimmy in, because that's the competitor he is, and he believes he can do it. And so it was hard on him at first, but he was very supportive. He saw how well Jimmy played, and he keeps it real, and he understood it. But he's worked. He hasn't sat back and just been happy with being a backup. I think CJ has very high expectations for himself, and he sees himself being a starter one day, and he's going to get an opportunity now. And this isn't something that he just surprised him. He's been waiting for this moment, and that's why I know he'll take advantage of it.
Will Jarek and Jimmy be able to do some rehab together? Will they be kind of going through the same process together?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what was only good news that Jimmy and I could talk about on the plane. At least he's got a buddy to go through it with. Unfortunately, both of them are going through it, but they're both in the same boat. I know Jarek, I think, texted him, sent him a picture of his knee right after the game. Just said, looking forward to having a wingman or something. So I know they can they can talk a lot about it with each other. They can keep each other up, help each other when each other are down. But those are two important players. They were for us to start out this year. Now they're not going to be a part of it. We know they're going to be around, involved in a lot of stuff. But I really look forward to having both of them next year.
You mentioned when Jarek went down, it dramatically changed your plans in terms of game planning and things like that. I know it's a different position, but how much do you have to tinker with your plan schematically going forward with CJ?
Not as much, just because they're real similar styles. They're both good pocket passing quarterbacks, and so you don't have to change very much. And Jarek was a little different.
As you said, CJ did get the crap kicked out of him last year, I think 19 sacks. How has he progressed in that area, making quick decisions, getting the ball out faster?
We'll see. I think he's done a pretty good job in practice. I kind of think he always has. He didn't get to play a ton in the preseason, and you don't get hit or sacked in practice. So we'll see through as these weeks go. But I think that experience, everything he went through last year when it was good and bad, he learned from it. And the stuff he did bad at, I think he'll do better at this year.
Coach, I noticed Garoppolo wasn't wearing a brace on his left knee during the game. Some quarterbacks do, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff. Did you and your staff ever discuss with him the idea of wearing a brace?
No. Yeah, no, never. Okay. I've never discussed it with any quarterback unless they've had a knee injury before.
Because that was just something that Matt did on his own.
Matt, who?
Ryan.
I think he did that because he played his whole second year, I think, without a MCL. I don't know, I wasn't there, but he had some issues, so he decided to put one on.
Coach, so many of the players were very quick to express their confidence in CJ Beathard. What does that say not only about the resilience, but the brotherhood in this locker room?
I mean, you have to earn respect. Guys aren't just going to say that to say it, and they're not going to just say it because someone's their friend or a nice guy. It always starts with how you handle yourself on the field. And, you know, CJ earns a lot of respect how he handles himself on the field. I mean, he's as tough and fearless as anyone I've been around, and guys know he'll hang in there and sling it. And he's not scared to make mistakes, and he'll give us a chance to win. And the way he's handled himself off the field is makes the guys that much stronger with him. He went through, I mean, he did get demoted last year when we gave Jimmy the starts, and you would have never noticed it on how he handled himself, how he acted, and he's a great person.
Did Sherman?
Has there been any discussion in the organization about bringing Colin Kaepernick back?
No, I mean, there was last year when I think I made that decision just with the style of offense that we wanted to go with, and that's kind of what I said last year. And it's kind of the same situation now. If you're thinking, would there be a different discussion now? You know, I always look into what style of offense I want to do, what style of offense we've been doing for the last 2 years. And when you start to get to these quarterbacks we're talking about, you know, CJ's our guy, and we have Nick Mullins backing him up. So when you get into a third and fourth guy, well, whoever that is, you'd like to bring in guys that you felt you didn't have to change as much of your offense for.
Sherman's calf, did he hurt it on a specific play, or was that just build up from?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't know of a specific play. I'm not sure.
With that injury, have you gotten any more clarity if it's connected to the surgeries he had on his Achilles, or is that?
Yeah, no, I was told it's not connected. You know, I think the surgery that he had on his Achilles was his right leg. This is his left calf. So I'm told it's not connected.
Kyle, considering that this is the second ACL with Jarek, obviously, and then now Jimmy, is this something that you guys look at, you know, from a training perspective? Is how do we prevent these injuries from happening more? I mean, second starter, so.
Yeah, I mean, people can if they want. I personally think that they're wasting time. I mean, one guy made a cut in Kansas City on some resodded turf after a Taylor Swift concert. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And the other guy made a cut in our practice field in the last play of practice. So, yeah, whatever information we get, I mean, it wouldn't affect me very much. Can't tell them to avoid Kansas City if we play there.
What caused you to change your mind? You guys went for it, and then after the penalty, you kicked the field goal. What changed there?
Just playing the percentages. You know, 4th and goal from the 7's tough, but when you're down, you're down 2 scores. I thought we had a decent chance to get it. 4th and goal from the 17 felt it was a pretty low percentage to get it. If we didn't have any timeouts, then we would have done it. But we had 3 timeouts. It was a 2-score game, and there was 5.5 minutes left. And they'd only gotten, I think, like 75 yards in the second half. We'd held them to 3 points. The odds of converting a 4th and goal from the 17 to me are a lot less than stopping a team on a 3-and-out with 3 timeouts. And I thought we did that. Fortunately, we got the PI call on the 3rd and 12.
You guys have been, seems like, really measured in terms of your overall broad, long-term plan. How does Garoppolo's injury maybe change that? And have you guys talked about maybe changing course at all since the injury?
No, not at all. I mean, I think we're very fortunate that we have a backup quarterback that we're confident in. And we were really excited about this year with Jimmy, just to go through the whole thing with him. I knew there would be ups and downs because you're going through his first full season. And I thought Jimmy has been solid in these first 3 weeks. And I thought there's a lot of things that he could get better from and learn from also. Unfortunately, you don't get to do that, which I know he's very disappointed about, so are we. But I mean, Jimmy is still the same guy. I mean, quarterbacks can come back from knee injuries. They do it all the time. I don't think this will affect him going forward. Yeah, he'll have a long recovery. He'll have to heal. But right when the offseason starts, I think he'll be there. Whether he can be involved in everything, I know he'll be able to sit there and throw and do things like that. So it's better in that aspect from a quarterback. So I'm still very excited about Jimmy and the future of him here. And I feel fortunate that we have a backup quarterback that we have a lot of confidence in.
You referenced the offensive PI use check. Have you heard from the league about that, or how does that usually work?
Yeah, they'll say something, whether they're sorry for it or whether they thought they were right. I usually get that in a letter or something, probably tomorrow.
When you look at that, is that a no call, or is that defensive pass interference or offensive pass interference? What do you think?
I mean, That's what they do. I mean, they grab every single play in the red zone. That's their philosophy. It's very obvious. You see it on tape, every single play. So, I mean, if they're going to grab and do that, and we're not going to call that, just let them play. It kind of blew my mind when it was called the other way.
What about the one on K1 in the first half?
Yeah, I saw it live and also saw on tape. I saw a guy fall because he twisted his ankle, and I saw him get up hobbling. And I think they thought K1 was the one who twisted him and threw him down, but that's not what happened.
I don't know how much you've talked to Jimmy about this, but what is his involvement going to be with the team? Through this injury process, is he going to be still in these meeting rooms? And
Yeah, I think Jimmy will handle it just like Jet. You put a lot on the. You don't want to force anybody to do anything. I think everyone deals with the stuff differently. Jet's he's been everywhere until he got a surgery. Then he has to be away for a little bit. But I know he'll be back. I think Jimmy will be the same. Flying and stuff is a little bit different with those guys because of the swelling and the surgery and stuff that he will be going through eventually. But Jimmy will be around a ton. Obviously, it's better to play, but if you're not going to be in, you can still get better watching things and handling it as good as you can, and I know Jimmy will.
Obviously, this is a huge blow to the team, but how big of a challenge is it to you to be able to keep the team confident and motivated moving forward?
I mean, it is what it is. Guys you come in and it's human nature. Everyone's going to be down today. We lost a bad game yesterday. Went through that with Jimmy, which was, a big deal. Went through it with a lot of people yesterday, though. So you come in today, you're pissed off. You want to look at the tape. You're a little bit down, but you don't sugarcoat it. You look at the reasons why we were down 35-10 at halftime, the reasons why we felt we had a chance to come back in the game, what we did good, what we did different, what we need to do differently. And then you just try to keep it real with the guys. You don't try to tell them, hey, we shouldn't feel this way. I know guys are down, but I also know guys can watch that tape and believe in what we have here. I know that guys do believe in CJ. I don't have to convince them of that. That's a good thing. If I felt I had to convince them of that, then you'd probably see a bad actor because I'm not very good at acting. So it's pretty nice when you come into a team. We can be down, but we can talk about the tape. We can watch it together. We can talk about the situation. And every time I leave with our team, I feel a heck of a lot better. And I know when they come in here Wednesday, we have a full game plan in. I know those guys will be going. They'll be juiced up. And I know by the time Sunday comes, we'll be ready to go.
2 more, please.
Good. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks.